Season 2, Episode 1. Must have an income source and continuous income flow to stay out of debt. Aum Namapegavaith Vasudevya. Imagine this. A magnificent palace stood proudly on a hill, overlooking an entire kingdom. Its marble floors sparkled. Its golden chandeliers illuminated every hall. Its royal banquet tables overflowed with the finest food. Visitors admired its beauty. People envied its luxury. Yet, unknown to everyone outside, there was one terrifying problem. No fresh water entered the palace anymore. The underground spring that had supplied it for generations had quietly dried up. At first, nobody noticed. The palace still had thousands of gallons stored in enormous reservoirs. The king remained confident. We have enough. Weeks became months. The reservoirs slowly emptied. Luxury remained, but sustainability disappeared. One morning, the palace that looked richer than ever had no water left. History teaches us a powerful truth. Anything that is only consumed will eventually come to an end. The same principle governs our finances. Savings get exhausted. Gold gets sold. Properties get mortgaged. Investments get liquidated. Inheritance gets divided. Even the largest fortune, without fresh income, will eventually disappear. If you stay with me until the very end, you'll discover why the wealthiest families think differently about money, why debt is often the symptom rather than the problem, and why creating continuous income is one of the greatest responsibilities we owe to ourselves and our families. Most people spend years learning how to earn money. Very few learn how to keep money flowing. And that difference changes everything. Imagine two lakes. The first lake receives fresh water every single day from rivers flowing down the mountains. The second lake receives no new water. It only loses water through evaporation. Which lake will survive the longest? The answer is obvious. Income is the river. Expenses are evaporation. Without continuous inflow, every reservoir eventually runs dry. The Bhagavad Gita reminds us that every individual has a duty to perform meaningful work. Work is not merely about earning a salary. It is about creating value that continuously serves society. When we solve meaningful problems, society willingly rewards us. Income is often the consequence of value, not merely effort. Warren Buffett once said, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die." Think deeply about those words. Money earned once is temporary. Systems that generate income repeatedly create freedom. Let me tell you a story. Two brothers inherited exactly the same amount from their father. Each received enough wealth to live comfortably for many years. The first brother fulfilled every dream he had postponed. He bought a luxury car, a larger house, expensive vacations, designer watches. His lifestyle grew. His income didn't. The second brother made a different decision. He used part of the inheritance to build businesses. He invested in productive assets. He developed new skills. He created multiple income streams before improving his lifestyle. 10 years later, the first brother had almost nothing left except memories. The second brother had created opportunities not only for himself, but for hundreds of families working in his businesses. The inheritance ended. The income continued. That changed everything. If today's message reminds you that wealth is built through continuous income rather than temporary possessions, pause for a moment and write one word in the comments. Flow. Because financial freedom begins the moment money starts flowing toward you faster than it flows away from you. Modern economists often distinguish between assets that produce cash flow and possessions that only consume cash. Many people spend years collecting liabilities, believing they are collecting wealth. A bigger house, a newer car, more subscriptions, more luxury, more monthly payments. Quietly, their lifestyle grows faster than their income. Debt rarely begins with one bad decision. It often begins with many comfortable decisions. Imagine a farmer. Every season he harvests grain. If he eats every seed, what happens next year? There will be no harvest. Wise farmers always preserve seeds for the future. Wise families do exactly the same. They preserve part of today's income to create tomorrow's income. In today's boardrooms, the strongest companies are not admired simply because they generate high revenue. They are admired because they generate predictable, sustainable, recurring cash flow. Investors understand something timeless. One-time profits create excitement. Recurring income creates stability. The same principle applies to our personal lives. Peter Drucker reminded leaders that the purpose of a business is to create and keep a customer. A loyal customer creates recurring revenue. Recurring revenue creates resilience. Resilience creates longevity. Chanakya advised rulers never to consume all available resources during times of prosperity. Wise leaders prepare for seasons of uncertainty before uncertainty arrives. The same wisdom protects families today. Because every salary, every business, every profession, every economy will experience change. Those who build multiple streams of value sleep more peacefully during uncertain times. But here's where everything changes. Imagine a mighty river flowing through an ancient forest. Every tree along its banks grows strong. Birds build their nests. Animals gather to drink. Fields become fertile. Villages prosper. The river never asks, "Who deserves my water?" It simply keeps flowing. Now imagine that same river suddenly stopping. Within months, the fertile land becomes dry. The fields crack. Life slowly begins to disappear. The difference between abundance and scarcity was never the size of the river. It was the continuity of the flow. Money follows the same law. Financial peace is not created because you once had a large amount of money. It is created because value continues to flow into your life. The Bhagavad Gita reminds us that nature itself functions through continuous cycles. The sun rises every day. The seasons return every year. The rivers continue flowing. Life is sustained by continuity, not by one extraordinary event. Financial wisdom follows the same rhythm. Create systems, not surprises. Build income, not dependence. If today's message reminds you that financial security is built on consistent value creation, take a moment to like this video and tell us in the comments. What is one skill you can develop this year that could create an additional source of income? Your answer may inspire someone else to take their very first step toward financial freedom. There is another lesson from nature. Have you ever watched honeybees? Every day, they leave the hive. Not because the hive is empty, but because tomorrow's honey depends upon today's effort. No bee says, "We collected enough yesterday." Nature understands something that humans often forget. Today's success never guarantees tomorrow's security. Continuous effort creates continuous abundance. There is another misunderstanding about money. Many people believe debt is the real problem. Debt is usually the symptom. The deeper problem is the absence of sustainable income. Imagine a family that wins a lottery worth several crores. Without financial discipline, without productive investments, without income-producing assets, that fortune can disappear within a few years. History has shown this repeatedly. Now imagine a teacher. Every year, she learns a new skill, improves her communication, understands technology, begins mentoring online, writes books, creates educational programs. Her knowledge quietly begins generating income from multiple directions. Her greatest asset was never money. It was her ability to keep creating value. Jim Rohn wisely said, "Profits are better than wages." But an even deeper truth is this: value is better than profit, because value keeps producing profit. Imagine a mango tree. Every season, it bears fruit. The owner doesn't sell the tree. He protects it, nourishes it, expands the orchard, because the tree produces income year after year. Many people spend their entire lives selling the fruit, without ever planting another tree. Your knowledge is a tree. Your skills are a tree. Your reputation is a tree. Your integrity is a tree. Keep planting. Keep nurturing. Soon, you will have an orchard instead of a single harvest. In today's boardrooms, the most admired organizations are not those chasing quick profits. They build recurring revenue, long-term customer relationships, innovation, strong brands, continuous improvement. Because sustainable businesses think in decades, not quarters. The same principle creates sustainable families. Develop skills that remain valuable. Build relationships based on trust. Invest consistently. Live below your means. Allow your assets to work while you sleep. That is how financial confidence is built. Chanakya taught that wealth should be earned ethically, protected wisely, multiplied intelligently, and used for righteous purposes. Notice the sequence: earn, protect, multiply, serve. Many people stop after the first step. History remembers those who completed all four. There is another invisible debt: lifestyle inflation. The day income increases, expenses immediately increase. A bigger car, a larger house, more subscriptions, more luxuries. Soon, a higher salary creates exactly the same financial stress as the previous one. Not because income was too small, but because desires grew faster than discipline. Warren Buffett still lives by principles of simplicity despite extraordinary wealth. Why? Because financial independence is not determined by how much you earn. It is determined by how much freedom your income creates. Imagine a pilot flying across the ocean. Every few minutes, he checks the fuel gauges, not because he doubts the aircraft, because he understands that running out of fuel is never solved after it happens. Wise families review their finances the same way. Not from fear, from awareness. Not to restrict life, but to protect it. Before you begin tomorrow, ask yourself one simple question: if my current income stopped today, how many other streams would continue flowing? That one question, repeated every year, can completely change your financial future. If today's episode reminded you that wealth is not measured by what you own, but by the value you continue creating, subscribe and continue this journey with us. Every episode is designed to help us build wisdom, strengthen our character, and create lasting prosperity. Share this episode with someone beginning their financial journey, because one idea today can prevent years of struggle tomorrow. Together, let us become better individuals, build stronger families, create a better society, and leave behind a better world for future generations. Remember, never consume everything you earn. Never depend upon only one source of income. Keep learning, keep building, keep investing, keep serving, because money spent eventually disappears, but value created continues to generate opportunities for a lifetime. May we replace consumption with creation. Replace dependency with self-reliance. Replace short-term pleasure with long-term wisdom. Replace financial anxiety with purposeful abundance. May every skill we develop become a source of service, every honest effort become a stream of sustainable income, and every blessing entrusted to us become an opportunity to uplift our families, our communities, and the world. Aum Namah Bhagavath Vasudevaya.